Hey gang, Amersil here. As you can see, this is an all tier 10 match and I am in the gearing. I have recently had a lot of what I consider pretty good games in the gearing. Certainly not Super Unicum or anything like that, but pretty good games. Just been on a lot of, well, we'll just say very doughy teams. I haven't had a whole lot of success with gearing in terms of wins, although the games have been pretty good in terms of damage and stuff. So anyway, why am I showing you this game today? Well, because this was, at least for me, a particularly good game. So I wanted to share it. For those of you who play the gearing a lot, maybe you're much better at it than I am. I really struggled with this ship when I first got it because I loved the Fletcher. In fact, I still do. I think the Fletcher's an awesome ship. If the torpedoes had a little bit more range, I'd probably never play the gearing. But this game is set up on tiers, and I finished with the Fletcher, picked up the gearing, and decided, hey, I better try and figure out how this thing works. I love the torpedo range. It makes a great torpedo boat. The guns are okay. It does take a lot of damage from AP if you show broadside, so you have to be careful. The detection range is meh. You can get the unique upgrade, or legendary module, whatever they're calling it these days, which will... I'm watching this Shima and I'm thinking, why in the heck is he so close to me? But I don't really care for that module. I think what you have to give up in order to get it, it just isn't worth it for how I play the ship. So I came hard to port here, and I was no longer RPF, the radio position. Shima was, so we'll let him contend with that. That tells me that whoever has the RPF on their ship is south of us. Now on this map, I really like to throw torps across and into that gap. You just never know what might happen there, but usually by the time the cruisers are in position to be able to torp you... Man, that guy was irritating. Usually by the time they're in position to be able to torp you, your torps are getting over there, and you've already secured the cap or are about to secure the cap. Now you can see that my gun range is 11 kilometers. You can see that Des Moines is just outside of that. Salem is within that, but he's not quite at 10 kilometers. So, the way that I traveled and how I turned, that was calculated to prevent me from getting radar. And I did manage to land
concentrate fire on the designated
a few
target.
torpedoes there. Banged up the Salem. Certainly made him turn around. He decided that pushing in there was probably a really bad idea. Now I'm just sitting here waiting for my torpedoes to reload. I don't want to put myself in position where if somebody pushes up from that direction where I've got my torpedoes kind of aimed right now. I don't want to get myself in a position where I can get shot to smithereens by all those cruiser guns over there. But now I've got my torpedoes back up, so I'm going to go ahead and push on out here. We've got the cap, and we actually have the Bravo cap, so I'm not too concerned about torpedoes from the Bravo cap. Sometimes you have to worry about that between all these little islands here that you can kind of see between me and that enemy gearing. That's an enemy DD will push up there. You can see Hirugamo, he's kind of trying to push up that direction. And I'm just debating about what to do, which way to go here. I decide that probably what I need to do is I need to dissuade the Hirugamo. I've got smoke available. I'm just going to keep pinging him, hoping our team will pick him up. You can see our Montana, in my opinion, he's in a terrible position back there. Our Kurfürst is pushed in, he's nose in, which I think is smart. He's able to get guns on a couple of things. I'll just take a pot shot here. There's smoke between me and him, so I won't get spotted. I got an island on the other side. Now he's kind of inched back into his smoke there. And you can see my torpedoes way out there. It's debatable whether they're going to hit anything. So I'm just positioning myself to be able to, if nothing else, try and push Hirugamo off. Yeah, that guy again. Ugh. Hey, look at that. I did manage to land a couple torpedoes. Now I know Harugumo's probably angled up and probably won't hit a thing with those torpedoes. But maybe I can get him to run away. Thinking, hey, here they come, or something along those lines. And you can see that there's another gearing kind of lurking just north of the Bravo cap, a friendly gearing. And I'm just taking a wild what might happen shot there. You just never know. And I can see that he's moving. My torpedoes aren't going to hit anything. Which is fine. If he fell back, that's great. He's not able to put shells on our guys anymore. And we have this flank pretty well secured. Our Montana turned around, thank goodness, the one that's up there at Alpha 8. Our Worcester's now pushed up. He's going to be kind of center of the map. And Harugumo,
requesting fire on the designated target.
with no camo and just kind of out there in the middle of open water.
All stations requesting fire on
And
the
I'm just
designated
pinging,
target.
hoping somebody's going to pick him up, and then I get detected. So I might as well just open up on the guns and see if I can't hit him once or twice. Kite away a little bit, get off one more volley here. And it's time for my torpedoes to be back up. And I'm just going to flood that gap again. They seem pretty intent, intent upon getting around that corner or pushing through that gap. And I am content to continue to throw torpedoes into that gap. Kurt first is beyond where I can hit him, but looks like there's a Montana back there and a Yamato, and who knows where the Des Moines. Yeah, there's the Des Moines.
Yes.
Now their Harugumo, I think, is what's in the cap, but I do not want to get out there, get spotted, and get into a gunfight with Harugumo where a Kurfürst, a Montana, a Des Moines, a Yamato, and maybe a Salem can all get guns on me. If they get the cap, that's okay. The Harugumo won't stick around for very long, would be my guess, and I'll be able to take it back. There's Harugumo. I couldn't get guns on him in time to reset the cap, so, from the point where which I saw him.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Just evade his torpedoes. For those of you who don't play DDs much or who are just learning, anytime you know that there's a DD in an area, try to keep your nose or your tail to the likely approach of torpedoes should he launch them. Just make sure I'm not putting any torps on the island. And again, this is just area denial. I mean, you hear that term with torpedoes all the time, area denial. And that's what this is. Now, fortunately for me, they just keep coming through that gap. And you can see that my friendly gearing has pushed over this way. Worcester and Henry are hanging on to B for us. Put one on Kurfürst's nose. I don't have much time left on my smoke there, so I'm just going to kite back. And start putting some guns on him. He might target me with secondaries. And I'm just trying to get myself... Did manage to land a couple more torpedoes back there. Just trying to get myself a fire here. I know that he had to repair, so let's see if I can get him burning. Swing the guns the other way. You'll see I'm trying to keep a very, very narrow profile to all those ships behind me. Well, no luck with getting a fire, but yeah, guess what? My torpedoes are back up. Took a little damage from his secondaries. That's fine.
Problem solved, sir.
See if I can get him burning. Well, not gonna matter now. Torps are up. Get around here on the other side of the island. Salem was moving away. I don't think there's any chance he's going to be able to radar me. Des Moines' really the only radar threat. And it looks like he's reversing. So I will reposition and try to get a better angle. Now you can see in terms of score, it's fairly close. They now have a cap advantage. We have a ship advantage, but our Kurfürst is just about dead, and our Shima is just about dead. Now they have a fair number of ships that are in really bad shape. So this is looking pretty good for us, but it's not beyond the ability of stupid play to throw things in their direction. There goes the Kurfürst, which I just mentioned a second ago. Now Harugumo's out there with all of his teammates. I'm not sure I understand his decision to go sit over there. DM's reversing, but whoever lands a shell on him, yeah, he's gone. I don't have the range to hit the Harugumo now, but he's, for all intents and purposes, he's out of the game. Our Montana, he's taken some fire and he's a little banged up, but so is the enemy Montana. Our Kurfürst goes down, their Harugumo goes down, and I have a lot of torpedoes out there. And they are going to very kindly, down goes our Montana, put themselves in a position to eat a few more torpedoes. That puts me at 15 torpedo hits here with these guys just continuing to push through this gap. 220,000 damage, and right about now is when I'm realizing, hey, this could be a new personal best in terms of damage for me. Trying to gauge where Yamato might go, and also leave room for Salem to come around that corner and tag him as well. You can see the friendly gearing here. He threw all of his torpedoes Yamato's way, but Yamato is kind of angled up against his torps. We'll see how this goes. There's a fire. Now you see they've got a points lead now.
Smoke screen set.
And a torpedo hit takes out the Yamato. Salem's pushing in. He's going to radar any second. So I'm going to get moving a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. I'm right at the edge of his radar range, and unless he comes straight at me, I think I could probably survive it. Well, now I've lost track of where he is. We don't have eyes on him. So I will become the eyes. Our gearing on, ahead of me is behind an island. Shima's hiding behind him. There's the radar. And he is pretty banged up. He's got his guns aimed toward the Shima, which allows me an opportunity. I'll switch to AP with broadside here. There's a fire, and that should do it. 245,000 damage. We've got a roughly 70 something. Yeah. Well, we've got a little bit of a lead now. They've got a Venezia, a Republic, and they've got their own DD, which is now, I'm sure, in a panic about what do I do. Myself and this friendly gearing, we're going to lock down this cap. We've got to watch Venezia. Venezia is, of course, with the SAP, very nasty against destroyers and has long-range torpedoes, so we're going to have to watch for those as well. These are just preemptive, just kind of covering the area in case he does decide to push in. And we don't have to engage, so just going to fall back. Make sure we secure the cap. Still a pretty close game, despite the fact that we have a 2-ship lead. But we're going to get this cap, and that's probably going to lock things down for us, unless, as I mentioned earlier,
Victory is in sight.
someone does something spectacularly stupid. And if you've played this game any length of time, you know that that is entirely possible. I'm just repositioning. Looks like Venezia's in full flight. Begs the question, is the destroyer out there? Is he trying to bait us into pushing into the destroyer? So we have to be somewhat cautious. Our Worcester goes down, closes the gap score-wise considerably, but we still have 2 caps. They've only got the 1. So our lead of 30 points, a little bit more than that now, is somewhat secure unless we lose another ship. And you can see our Montanas out there facing off with their Republic. Down goes their Republic, and that gives us a pretty secure lead. So I think what I'm going to do is just this kind of winds itself up in a quiet way. So I'm just going to step out here. This for me ended up being a personal best in terms of damage. I'm pretty excited about that. It was overall a very good game. I think it could have gone either way. Just happened to flip our way. Thanks a lot for joining me. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.
Torpedoes astern. Much obliged.